Before you spend thousands on a new TV, ask yourself, is it worth it? Micro-LED TVs promise the best of everything, but why do they cost as much as a car? Welcome back to All Things Electronics, your go-to space for honest tech talk made simple. Today's video is inspired by viewer requests and trending searches about the future of smart TVs, micro-LED. You've probably seen headlines like Samsung's $100,000 TV or Sony Crystal LED costs more than a house. But what makes these TVs so special? And why are they so expensive? In this video, we'll break everything down in very simple English so that even if you're new to tech, you'll understand it all. We'll explain what micro-LED is, why it costs so much, and which brands make the best ones today. And by the end, you'll know whether it's a smart buy or just a rich person's toy. If you enjoy this kind of clear and helpful tech content, don't forget to subscribe, like, and support us through the email in our channel description. Micro-LED is a type of screen technology used in very high-end televisions. You may have heard of LCD or OLED TVs, those are more common. Micro-LED is newer and combines the best parts of both. The name micro-LED comes from how it works. The screen is made up of millions of tiny lights called micro-light-emitting diodes. Each one lights up on its own. This means the screen can get really bright when needed and turn completely off to show deep black, giving better contrast and colors than normal TVs. Unlike OLEDs, which use organic material that can wear out, micro-LEDs use solid-state components. That makes them stronger, longer-lasting, and better for showing images for long periods without damage. Another reason these TVs are so expensive is because they are still new. When something is new, it costs more because not many people are buying it yet. Companies haven't built big factories to produce micro-LED screens at large scale, which would help lower the price. It's just like when flat-screen TVs first came out, they were extremely expensive. But over time, prices came down. Right now, micro-LED is still in the early days, which means it's mostly sold to luxury buyers or businesses. As more people learn about it and companies compete, prices may slowly go down, but not yet. To better understand why micro-LED is worth talking about, let's compare it to something more familiar, OLED. OLED TVs are already known for amazing picture quality. They can show true blacks because each pixel turns off when it's supposed to be black. Micro-LED does that too, but with higher brightness, better durability, and no risk of burn-in. OLED screens can sometimes get damaged if the same image stays on too long. Micro-LED doesn't have that problem. Also, micro-LEDs last longer and are made from stronger materials. However, OLED TVs are much cheaper because they've been around longer and are easier to produce. So, if you want better quality and don't mind paying a lot more, micro-LED wins, but OLED still gives great value for money. Now that we know what makes micro-LED so powerful and why it's expensive, it's time to look at the companies who are actually making it. The biggest and most well-known name in micro-LED technology right now is Samsung. Samsung has spent years developing this technology, and they were the first to release a product line called the Wall. This is a micro-LED display that's modular, which means it's made up of smaller panels that can be joined together to make a huge screen, sometimes even as big as an entire wall. This makes it ideal for commercial use or luxury home cinemas. The screen can go from 76 inches all the way to 292 inches or more. What's really special about Samsung's micro-LED is how bright and sharp it is. Colors look deep and vibrant, and black looks truly black. However, this also comes at a cost. The Wall can easily cost $100,000 or more. This makes it something most people can only dream about. Still, Samsung's work is helping to push the technology forward and prove what's possible. Another company doing big things in micro-LED is Sony. Sony's version is called Crystal LED, and while it's similar to Samsung's approach, it has its own unique features. Sony focuses more on business and commercial applications, like large venues, airports, showrooms, or high-end production studios. That means they design their micro-LED screens for spaces where there's a lot of light or where perfect image accuracy is needed, like in video editing. Sony's displays are also modular, so you can build them to nearly any size. In fact, some of the biggest and clearest digital signage you've ever seen at malls or events might be using Sony's micro-LED. They're bright, clear, and can run all day without burning out. But again, the cost is extreme. Some setups can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Still, Sony's work is important because it shows micro-LED isn't just for home use, it can become the standard for any space that needs elite visuals. LG is also working on micro-LED, although they haven't marketed it as loudly as Samsung or Sony. LG has experience from making OLEDs, so they're experts in high-end display technology. Their main focus right now is using micro-LED in commercial signage and digital cinema screens, but they have hinted that they're planning consumer models for the future. LG has shown prototypes of micro-LED TVs at tech expos, and while they're not on the market yet, people are excited. LG is known for bringing great visuals to normal consumers, so when they finally do release micro-LED TVs for homes, it may be a turning point for prices. LG's advantage is that they know how to scale production. If anyone can help micro-LED go from ultra-luxury to premium mainstream, it might be them. They're likely testing the waters before jumping into mass production, but tech insiders say LG's entry into the micro-LED market will heat up competition and bring more innovation. While Samsung, Sony, and LG are the most famous, there are some newer players trying to compete, especially from China. Companies like TCL and BOE are investing heavily in micro-LED research and development. These companies are known for making affordable TVs and displays, so their entry into micro-LED is exciting. If they succeed in producing micro-LED screens at lower prices, it could change everything. Right now, they're focused on improving the manufacturing process so that more screens pass quality tests and fewer are thrown away. This could help reduce the price for everyone. TCL, for example, has shown micro-LED concepts at expos, and BOE is already supplying micro-LED panels for testing. These companies might not have final products on store shelves yet, but they are working behind the scenes to get there. And the minute one of them figures out how to bring down the price while keeping the quality high, micro-LED TVs could finally reach regular people instead of just luxury customers. One of the biggest reasons people are excited about micro-LED is how long it lasts. Traditional TVs, like LCDs or even OLEDs, wear out over time. OLEDs especially have something called burn-in, where parts of the screen can get damaged if the same image stays on for too long, like logos or news tickers. Micro-LED doesn't have that problem. Each pixel in a micro-LED display is inorganic and self-lit, meaning it won't decay in the same way. This gives micro-LEDs a much longer life. Some experts say a micro-LED TV can last for over 100,000 hours of viewing, which could mean 10 to 15 years of use depending on how often you watch. Also, the screens stay bright and sharp for much longer, making them a better long-term investment if you can afford one. So, when you pay a high price, you're not just paying for the quality today, you're paying for something that might last twice as long as a normal TV. Now let's say you actually want to buy a micro-LED TV. What should you know before choosing? First, size really matters with micro-LED. Most micro-LED displays available now are huge, because they are built from modular tiles that snap together. So, if you live in a small apartment, it may not be a practical choice just yet. Second, think about brightness. If you watch TV in a bright room or during the day, micro-LED performs very well. It can get much brighter than OLED. Third, consider how long you plan to use the TV. If you want a screen that you can use for many years without worrying about wear and tear, micro-LED is ideal. But if you're someone who upgrades your TV every 3 to 5 years anyway, you might not benefit from MicroLED's long lifespan. That's why it's still better suited for people who want a long-lasting, luxury home theater. For most people, the better question might be, should I wait for MicroLED, or buy a high-end OLED or QLED TV now? The answer depends on your budget and how soon you need a new TV. If you want something now and you care about great picture quality, OLED is still a fantastic option. Today's OLED TVs from LG, Sony, and even Samsung are sharper, more colorful, and cheaper than they've ever been. They give you deep blacks, rich contrast, and wide viewing angles. QLEDs, while not as sharp as OLEDs, are great for bright rooms and cost less. But if you're okay waiting a few more years, MicroLED could become more affordable, especially as companies like TCL and LG start competing to bring prices down. Waiting might also get you a more refined version of MicroLED, one with fewer issues and better software support. So if your current TV is still working fine, patience could pay off. Looking ahead, MicroLED has the potential to change how we think about displays, not just in TVs, but in phones, smartwatches, and even VR headsets. The technology is flexible and can be used in curved or wearable screens. But its biggest role will likely be in large format, premium home viewing. Think about high-end movie rooms, luxury hotels, and commercial spaces with impressive video walls. Even today, some super yachts and millionaire homes are installing MicroLED walls because they can fit any shape or size without losing quality. The future of this tech is not just about replacing your living room TV, it's about changing how we experience visual entertainment entirely. So while it might take a few years for prices to come down to everyday levels, MicroLED is not a passing trend. It's something we'll be seeing more and more across industries. Thank you for sticking with us through this deep dive into MicroLED TVs. We know this technology sounds futuristic and expensive, and it is. But we also believe in making complex tech simple and understandable for everyone. Now that you know why MicroLED costs so much, how it works, and who's making it, you can make smarter choices. Maybe you'll wait for prices to drop. Maybe you'll buy OLED now. Or maybe you just enjoy learning what's possible. Either way, we appreciate you for watching. If you learned something new, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and support us through the email listed in our description. And if there's another tech topic you'd like us to explore, drop it in the comments, we listen to every suggestion. Until next time, this is All Things Electronics reminding you to stay smart, stay curious, and never overpay for hype.